Pals? Who's this? Books, 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 books. Hi my loves, welcome back, welcome to a brand new video. First off, I want to apologise for my lack of content. In the past week, 2 weeks, I have been extremely ill and I am only getting back into daily life, and I had a really bad sore throat. I couldn't talk really, it would hurt. I just couldn't stop coughing, sneezing, and there was no point filming videos where I was going to be coughing and sneezing, and I just felt myself getting frustrated every time I tried to film. It's been a long time since I've actually sat down and filmed a video. A lot of the videos that you have seen recently are like pre-filmed, like ages ago, so I haven't actually sat down, picked up my camera for about 2.5 weeks, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm actually really happy that I'm back on my camera again. I get to speak to you guys, and today's video we'll be doing my July TBR. It is actually the start of July and I still hadn't finished this video because obviously I was ill, so I thought it would be the perfect time today. It's the weekend for me to sit down and go through all the books I hopefully want to read in July. I have, again, a very ambitious TBR just like June, but this one I feel like I'm actually going to get to, because June I spent it reading books and series that I kind of wanted to, I've been putting off for a long time. I finished like quite a few series, or I'm in the middle of like nearly finishing series, which you'll see in my wrap up, which should shortly be coming out soon. But for my video for today, I have quite an ambitious TBR, but it's literally filled with books that I think I'm going to actually be able to read because summer's coming up. Well, it is summer already, but in the UK we had nice weather, then it kind of just vanished. It's really gloomy today. It's actually really hot inside my house, but the fact that I'm wearing a jumper and it's summertime, we're in like July, like that is madness to me. But I have a lot of books that I'm hopefully going to get to. Have some new releases that come out this month that I'm excited for. In this video, a lot of the books are going to be like new releases that have come out in the past 2 months, because this month it was finally time to sit down and decide what ones I wanted to read. I've been reading a lot of books that I've had for a very long time, but I thought it would be time now to like actually get to my new releases, because I finally basically finished those books. Now I get to read the books that I recently bought in my book haul, and then obviously the new releases as I've said, and I've got some fun videos coming out where I'm going to be reading some of these anticipated reads and obviously some of the other specific books that I have. If you guys have any ideas as well for like some ideas, let me know. I did make a post on my community page on YouTube, so if you have any ideas, put it there, or even on the comments. I want to know you guys' ideas, because I literally have no summer plans this year. I was going to go on holiday, but it kind of just fell through, so now I'm just like thinking of ideas to do in London, which means a lot of time for reading, which I'm really excited for. But I'm gonna stop rambling now. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about my July TBR. I'm sorry if I sound a bit congested still. My nose, my throat still feels a bit like musty, like muggy kind of feeling, and I'm not fully out of my cold yet, but I'm getting there, I'm getting there. Before we start, if you do like this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe. I love you guys so much. I am actually in the middle of filming a vlog, so stay tuned for that. Obviously my wrap up's coming up, and I'm also filming some reading vlogs, and yeah, I'm gonna have some more time soon. I finished work this month for the summer holidays because I work in education, which means I'm gonna have a lot more videos. I'm gonna have a lot more time to make those videos and be more consistent with my YouTube. But I love you guys so much. Let's get to it now, and let's talk about all the books that I hopefully want to read in July. I have a very large stack of books. Let me actually do a quick count of how many books I have on my July TBR. So I have 14 books on my TBR. I actually have one book that is on my TBR, but I'm not telling you guys just yet. You might see it in the vlog that comes up. But this book I received as an ARC, so this book's not even coming out until August, but I managed to get my hands on it as an ARC, and you guys can probably guess what it is. It's one of my favourite series. I talk about it non-stop, and yeah, got that on my TBR for July as well, which I've actually already started. But stay tuned if you want to see what book it is and to see my little review. I'll probably do like a little review in July, but I'm really excited to continue reading the book because it's so good already, and I'm only like 4 chapters in, so I'm really excited for that. But let me still talk about that and talk about the books that I actually have on my July TBR. So first up we have Beach Read by Emily Henry. I have been so excited to read this book. I've heard so many people talk about it. This book actually came out a while ago, like a few years ago, but I finally got my hands on it last year. Didn't really get to read it last summer, but this summer I was like, I want to read it, get to it. I really want to book a beachy holiday, like just for myself. I really want to go on like a little solo trip where I just spend like 4-5 days away and I just read. Like, I would just love that, take my camera and like vlog the whole trip. And beach read is just putting me in the feels for summer, and I'm hoping as I'm reading this the weather gets a bit better. But all I know is about 2 writers, and I think the female main character, she's the hopeless romantic, whereas the main character, he's not. Like, he doesn't believe in fairy tales and romance. I think it's going to be a fun read. I think it's going to be interesting. People said the writing style in this book is very different to like Happy Place and like Funny Story, which I'm really excited for, to see like how her writing style's kind of changed. But people said this is kind of like the beginning of like when her writing did change. But I'm really excited to read it. It's been high up on my TBR, and Emily Henry is just that author that I just love reading. I know her books are just so like realistic. She has that realism that I love, helps me connect to the characters, so I'm really excited for this one. And then next up we have Before I Let Go by Kenny D. Ryan. This is the first book in the Highland Sister series. So Before I Let Go, I've obviously spoken about it before, but this is a black romance. It's about 2 people, Yasmin and Josiah. They were married, they have 2 kids, they got divorced, and it's kind of like flickering between the past and the present, what it was like when they were first getting to know each other, before they had kids, before marriage, and then obviously the present day dealing with obviously not being together anymore. They have a business together, so see how that works. And I'm really excited to read this. I have had this on my TBR basically every single month, but I haven't gotten to it, but I'm really excited to get to it because I have the second book, which is This Could Be Us, and I want to read them together. I'm going to be doing a reading vlog on these books plus a few other books, and you know, you can probably guess what type of video I'll be doing. I'm really excited for this video that I'm going to be doing, and these are the 2 books that I want to read in that video. This one is based off the main character's best friend. I think she comes out of a very toxic relationship. She falls in love with this guy who basically treats her a lot different. I know people said this focuses less on the romance and more like self-love, self-healing. It's going to be dealing with a character that was put down a lot by her ex-partner, her learning to be more confident in herself, healing herself, and I'm all for it. Love Kenny D. Ryan. I want to get more into her reads, and these 2 books are just so cute together. I always talk about how cute they are, and I'm really excited to get to that. Also as well with Kenny D. Ryan, I've heard that she's like a very realistic author, like in terms of she writes emotionally depth characters that you fall in love with, that you can resonate with, and as a black woman I'm going to be really excited to get to these books and, you know, see how I feel, how I can relate to them. But I know it's going to be good, and I'm really excited to hopefully get to that. Next up, following on from black romances, we have Honey and Spice by Babylona. Again, this book I soft DNF'd last year, and I wanted to read it in June, just never got to it because I basically took a massive detour of my June TBR. Like, a lot of the books you're going to see are from my June TBR because I just didn't get to it. Like, I ended up going on a tangent of like reading books from like 2 particular series. I didn't actually read a lot either. I read like a lot within the first like 2 weeks, and then the last 2 weeks I took like a bit of a break because I was so busy. I had my niece that was born, so I was going to my mother's a lot, seeing her, and I haven't really read a lot. I read like 1 book towards the end of the month, or 2 books towards the end of the month, I can't remember. But I'm really excited to hopefully get to this book. This book is going to be involved in another video as well. And yeah, I'm really excited. This one, if you don't know about, it's about 2 characters. It's fake dating. They're both at college. So she does like a podcast. She meets this guy. At first, like, they really click, and then she finds out that he's like the biggest playboy on campus. But they have to pretend to date because she has to do a segment or something like that, and she needs his help. And obviously along the way, you know what's going to happen. People said this is very like cozy, and it's just like about 2 people that at first they feel like they're so different, they don't like each other, but the more they hang out with each other, the more they realise a lot, that they get along a lot, and they have a lot of things in common. I think that's what I love about fake dating, because fake dating basically forces those 2 people, especially like a lot of time fake dating is in like an enemies to lovers, proximity kind of vibe, because it starts off with them like not really knowing much about each other, which is why they're so easy to hate each other. And then when they're fake dating, it forces them to spend time with each other, which is then they learn about, oh, this person's actually not that bad, we actually get along, there's certain things that we can relate to. And I'm really excited to hopefully get to this book, hopefully get to it this time and actually stick through with it, because last year, as I said, I soft DNF'd it, but I wanted to give it another chance. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get to it in July. The last book that I have on my TBR that has been on my shelves for a very long time. Well, not a long time. I've had it on TBR for maybe 3-4 months, but it did come up maybe a year ago or a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I decided to put this on my TBR because I wanted to read it in June, but I didn't get to it. This month I am reading a book by Ashley Poston which recently just came out. I'm reading it because it's part of Sarah's book club and I'm part of her like Patreon thing subscription, so that's the book we're going to be reading. So that is why I wanted to read 7-Year Slip, because people said it doesn't relate to the story but it helps you kind of understand her vibe, her writing style. Also The Dead Romantics is another book. I don't have my hands on that book, but if they have it on Kindle I might read that. But The 7-Year Slip is definitely the book I want to read. Before I get to that one, and familiarise myself with the author, see what her writing style is, see if I'm going to like the book in the first place. But The 7-Year Slip, all I know is about this girl. She comes home to find this guy who's living 7 years in the past. It also deals with like grief of her grandma, so I don't know if he knows her grandma or whatever. They fall in love, and I'm actually quite intrigued to see how these couples fall in love, just based on the fact that he's 7 years in the past and obviously she's from present day. So like, how would that romance happen? Is he like a ghost, or is he literally just like been able to like time travel? I don't know if this is going to be like a fantasy. People said it's not a fantasy, it's a romance, but it's got that like magical element into it. So I'm really excited to read that, and hopefully I'm going to enjoy it because I've heard a lot of people talk about it and I've heard a lot of people say it's such a good book. I'm hoping that I'll like it too. Next up, following on from that, we have this book, which is a novel love story by Ashley Poston again. This is her new release. I think it came out maybe like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I don't know, but this is part of Sarah's book club. This is the pick for this month, and I thought I would finally start it because I've had a subscription for about 2 months now, but I haven't taken part of any of her book clubs because I just haven't had time. Like, I had my TBR, but trying to add those books into it when I wasn't in the right frame of mind wasn't good. So now I decided that I wanted to pick it up. So I'm really excited to read this one. Hopefully I will like it. I don't know what it's about at all. I think again this has like the magical realism, magical like element like The 7-Year Slip, but I'm really excited to read from this author because I've heard she's really good. I don't know what this book is about, but I'm really excited to get to it because it's part of the book club pick, and yeah, I'm hopefully going to get to that because it's one of my first, you know, new releases I'm getting to. So for this month I have a lot of books that are not new releases, but I have new releases, and then what happens is a lot of these new releases I haven't read anything from these authors, so I'm going back and reading the books that people have said are like relating to the book or either really good if you want an introduction to that author. So following on from that, we have these two books. So we have Part of Your World and then we have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. These two books are not like, they're standalones, but they're interconnected, and people said these two are really important when you want to read just for the summer by Abby Jimenez, and this book recently came out this year, so that's why I wanted to get my hands on it, and people said these two are very interconnected to this story, so that is why I decided to pick these ones up. I have no idea what these two are about. I just picked them up because people were talking about them. I have actually read the blurb. Actually going into this book very blindsided, but I'm really excited for that, you know, give it a full chance. But I'm really excited to read them because I'm really excited to read just for the summer as it just came out this year. So I'm really excited to even just read Abby Jimenez. I haven't read any of her books, and people said again she's got the similar feels as like Emily Henry in terms of how they write their books, which I love those vibes. Like, it helps me. Like with me, I'd rather have no smart and have a great storyline than have a lot of smart and not have a good storyline, because, you know, storyline is so important for me, and like the characters need to connect on like a deeper level, especially like in romance. I love the emotional depth that you get from these characters and the writing. So yeah, I'm really excited to read some of Abby Jimenez's books because I haven't read any of hers, and you know, I've heard great things about her stories. So next up, following on from new books and anticipated reads, we have The King of Sloth from Anna Hugh. This is one of my anticipated reads. I love the Kings of Sin series. I just love any book by Anna Hugh, and this book features Salome and Xavier. I don't know much about these books. I think they're enemies to lovers. Don't count me of that, I don't know, but I'm really excited to read this book. I've heard kind of mixed reviews about it, but I feel like it's going to be one of my favourite of the series. I don't know, I really loved The King of Pride and The King of Greed. To be fair, I loved all of them, and this is the 4th book in the series, so I'm really excited to get to it. It's one of my anticipated reads, and the cover is just so cute. Next up, we have another anticipated read, which is The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. This is part of the Campus Diary series. A lot of these books I mentioned for my June TBR, which are probably into July, but I'll actually be reading these this month, and I'll be having reading vlogs on them as they're my anticipated reads. The Dixon Rule follows Deanna and Shane, so I know this is a sub/dom plot, and they have that kind of hate-love relationship where he's always kind of like flirted with her, he's a bit cheeky, he's like, you know, I'm here, and she just doesn't like him. She's a cheerleader, you know, hockey romance, college romance. I'm all here for it, so I'm really excited to read this. This is apparently really spicy as well, so I am really looking forward to it. Like, I'm not saying that I don't love my spice, I just love the emotional depth writing styles more so. But with Elle Kennedy, her books are just so fun to read, which is why I love like the smart in them, but as well I also love the banter and seeing like the side characters and the cameos as well. Very interconnected foul family, and yeah, if you want something that's just light-hearted, especially for summer, definitely recommend Elle Kennedy's books, and I'm really excited to read The Dixon Rule. And next up we have The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. Again, this is from my June TBR. This book is about two people that I think they were together or they had a fling late in the past, they bump into each other again, second chance romance. I have heard mixed reviews about this book. People said they didn't really connect with the female main character a lot, they found her quite annoying, but I really love Sarah Adams. I haven't read many of her books, I've only read the cheat sheet, but I have heard good things about this book. It is a good fluffy duffy little romance, second chance, so I am really excited to read that. Next up we have Love Unwritten by Lauren Asher, which is the second book in the Lakefront Billionaire series, and this book, she is girthy. The thing with Lauren Asher, she writes some girthy books, but they're really good. Like, I don't find myself getting bored by them, but this one is definitely the thickest book I've ever read from her. Like, this is massive, but the cover is so cute. I absolutely love read design. I think I gave it a 4 stars. I just love like the found family. I love like how the main characters knew each other from childhood, and we kind of had like the families involved in it as well. This one I don't know much about. I think it's a single dad. Oh, and she works for him, so she's a nanny. Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. I just feel the vibes. And you know, I haven't read that in a while. Like, I haven't read like a single dad like nanny book for a while. Like, that trope doesn't really show up nowadays a lot, but I'm really excited to read this. I've heard some good things about this. This book has only come out maybe about 3 weeks ago, and Lauren Asher, again, she's that girl. I love her writing style. I love the Dream Millionaire series, and this has been one of my anticipated reads of this year, so I am really excited to get to it in July, and I'm trying to prioritize it because a lot of these books I've kind of missed out. It's been like 2 months since they've come out because I've been too busy trying to finish the books that I had on my TBR, but that is what I want to do more of. Like, I want it to be like the month that I'm creating content is the month that I post like the videos for the new releases, rather than me like reading them 2 months down the line. So that's why I'm trying to catch them up this month. So like the new releases that come out in August, September, October, I can read them in that month, so I can do reading vlogs for you. But this book, I know I'm going to enjoy it. A single dad romance. Bring on that. I love a good single dad romance, and yeah, I love Lauren Asher, so I know this book ain't gonna disappoint me, so I'm really excited to read Love Unwritten. Last but not least, we have Funny Story by Emily Henry. This book, I have had so many, like, everyone I know has been like, when are you gonna read Funny Story? I even say to myself, when am I going to read it? It's been on my shelves. I have the beautiful sprayed edges. I spoke about it last month. I spoke about it in my mid-year book tag, but I still haven't gotten to it. And this is a book that I definitely want to read this month. Emily Henry, I love Happy Place. People said this is very much similar vibes to it. She is the epitome of summer. She is an author that I love to read in the summertime. I'm actually really wanting to read Happy Place. I want to get the paperback version so I can annotate it. But Funny Story, all I know, again, this is about 2 characters. Their partners both break up with them to get together, and then they're roommates, and then obviously they fall in love, yada. That's probably what I'm guessing. But you know, with Emily Henry, it's not as simple as that. There's going to be bumps along the way. There's going to be that emotional depth, what I love. She has those, that realism as well, the aspect, which I love, and I've heard great things about this, so hopefully this could be a 5-star, because it has the potential to be a 5-star, and a lot of these new releases I've been waiting for a while. Like these new releases I've been waiting for since last year, since they've been first announced. So I am really excited to hopefully catch up with my new releases and my anticipated reads, and then come up with like a video for you guys. I might do this within 2 videos because I have a lot of anticipated new releases, so it might be like 2 videos. I might do a part 1 and a part 2, but I am really excited to hopefully get to all of these books. But that is it. That is all the books that I want to read in July. Of course, we have my ARC that I'm going to be reading as well, but I am excited to get to all these new releases and get to some of the new authors. A lot of these books are from new authors, especially like Yami Jimenez, we have Ashley Poston, we have Kennedy Ryan. I haven't actually read anything from Kennedy Ryan either, and then we also have some authors that I absolutely adore, and I can't wait to continue their series and start new books by them. But yeah, I really enjoyed my June. Even though June's been a bit underwhelming, I did enjoy the books I did read. So yeah, July I'm excited to read some new books by some new authors. You know, very much summer. It's very giving colourful, like all these books are very colourful. It's giving very much summer. This is helping me put myself in a better mood, especially as the summer weather is gone. Like in England we have the weather for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then it goes, it says nope, you're not having this weather anymore. And I looked at the forecast, and the next 2 weeks, sun, no sun. Right now it's raining, it's gloomy, and the only thing that's pushing me through summer is these books, and I can't wait to read all these books hopefully in July. As yeah, we have obviously more books coming out in July that I want to get to as well, but I'll probably be doing that the following month because I'm trying to catch up. And yeah, that is it for today's video. That is all the books I want to read in July. What books do you guys have on your July TBR? Do you have a very ambitious TBR like I do, or do you have a few books, or you do more mood reading? If you guys have any book recommendations that you want me to read, any new releases of books that are not on my radar but are on your radar, let me know. I don't really read fantasy that much during summertime, but if anyone has any summer fantasy reads or even summer crime reads, let me know because I'll be intrigued to kind of read those. But also give me some recs anyway, because when it gets colder we're going to need some more fantasy recs, because autumn time, winter time, that is when your girl reads her fantasies, and we have so many fantasies that I'm hoping to get to this year. But let me stop talking now. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a like and a subscribe. Follow my socials down below for some more information if you guys want to see what I'm doing in my daily lives, especially as YouTube. I haven't been as consistent as I would like to be, but yeah, I hope you guys are okay. I hope your week's going okay, your day's going okay, you're staying safe. But yeah, I hope you guys are staying safe, stay blessed, and as I always say, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!
Que estoy enamorada porque cuando veo cosas muy bonitas pienso en ti como un cafecito en